Hello, my name is Daniel Yumi King and I will show you my project part 2, authentication with OAuth. As you see here in the server.js file, I use the packages passport and express session. Here I configure the use session with the session secret, and right here I configure the passport package where I initialize and I use in my application. So everything else remains the same, and this one will hit my index.js file in the routes folder, which I have the routes for the OAuth with GitHub, which is this file. In this file I set up the URLs, all the routes to login, which is the out/GitHub, the callback URL, the logout, and the profile route, which is going to show if the user is authenticated, and the name, or if it's not. This is my passport configuration file, where I use a GitHub strategy, and I use the GitHub client ID, client secret, and callback URL. This is my .env file, where I use those variables, and these variables are the same in render environment. And this is my middleware, which will authenticate if the user is authenticated or not. And this file is where I use my authentication middleware in the post, put, and delete routes, and the same for managers, post, put, and delete routes. And this is the swagger.json file, where I have all my routes, starting with the post, all managers, get by ID, put, delete, and the same for employees, get all, post, put, get by ID, and delete. So we can go to my URL production environment. As you see here, we don't have a cookie, we don't have authenticated, so the get all will work normally because we don't need to authenticate for this route, but for the post route we will need to authenticate. So if we try to execute like that, it will show you are not authenticated and the 401 error code, and it will do the same for the employees collection. Try to execute, you are not authenticated, and we can try the other routes the same. We can just grab a URL right here, put. So as you see, it doesn't even hit the validation rules because the authentication is first. So if it's not authenticated, it would not hit the validation rules. And the lead route, the same. Execute, you are not authenticated. Now we can do the same for employees. Post, try it out. You are not authenticated, and the delete route. Okay, so what we can do right now, we check profile. As you see, you are not logged in. So how we can authenticate is we go to our login route, which will redirect us to the sign in GitHub page. We can sign in our GitHub account, and this will redirect us to our profile, which is going to show us the name and the message you're authenticated now. So as you see, we create a cookie right here, and we can go back to the Swagger UI, and now it will work. So let's try to post a manager, try it out, work email, gmail.com, and the name will be DeLorean. Execute, and manager created successfully. So we can go here on managers, reload our MongoDB collection, and it will show us at the bottom the new document that we created. I'm sorry about that. It looks like it's taking a little longer. I will pause it. Okay, thank you. We are here back, so as you see we have the DeLorean contact, the one that we just created. So we can try to update this document. We can keep the same, the email, but the name we can change it to Sylvia. Execute. A manager updated successfully, so we can reload this. In our managers, as you see at the bottom, we'll go and we have Sylvia instead of Dolariano. So we can do the same for our employees route. Try it out. We're gonna try a new employee, same email. Let's change the name to Carlos. Let's create a name. Execute. Employee created successfully, so we go to the employees collection. The last one would be Carlos right here. We can update this one. Same email, different name, this time Andres. Execute. Employee updated successfully. We reload the page. And the last one will show Andres. Nice. So now we can try to delete. Employee deleted successfully. And we don't have Andres anymore. So that is how is working the OAuth authentication with GitHub, and the routes. Each route, post, put, and delete routes. The user needs to be authenticated to work in the routes, and that should be all. Thank you.